So hello everybody, in today's video we are going to continue with the part which we were last time on my first video in my YouTube channel. To see the first part I will also leave a link into the description box so you can see the steps that we follow through the basics of the Autocad. So in today's video, as we see, we have the structure. I only put it like two other layers that are missing from the first video, so it is very simple to do that because as I learned you on the first video, and I told you that you can use offset and you can do it very easily. So in today's video we are going to go on and learn how to use some hatches, but first let's start and the floor elements, which are those in here that we are going to need to complete our structure totally. So as we have in the picture in here, it says that this is like dimension, it is 100 millimeter, and for sure that is going to be like a concrete block since the hatchet is indicating that. So first of all we go select line in here as I'm doing, and I select the point from here. And as I said to you, the length, it doesn't matter. So now we have the first line. What we're going to use now, the thing that we're going to use, it is going to be offset. So we click offset and it asks us to specify the offset distance. We put 100 millimeters since that is a distance. Now we select the line and we just go down. That is the offset 100 millimeters. Also we have the insulations layer, which are 1, 2, 3, 4 insulation layers with the thickness of 50 millimeters. So now we press escape to leave the comment again, and now we go to escape to we go to offset, and now we specify the distance, which is going to be 50, and we press enter, and now we select this line and we offset it like till we have 4 layers. Till we have 4 layers, and another one in here. So basically this is also going to be the floor structures. So what we're going to do, and also one important thing that you should know for the basics of how to cut, that if you need to extend the line, you just select only the line, you go to this blue point and you just go right. If you want to make it a bit bigger, this is the same thing for the other ones. As I said during this tutorial, it's not important how the length of this line is going to be, because I'm going to show you simple way how to cut them straight and you have all the lines as they should be. So let's do this last one, and now we have like a general view of our structure. And always, as you see here, I have the command Q save. I also remember to save very often, because sometimes it might happen like a program crash or something might happen and you might lose all your work. So you should never forget pressing Ctrl S, or you just go in this sign in here at a big A and you press save, and everything will be saved and it won't go away. So now we have the basic structure of our, how does it call, foundation. Let's move it up here, and we're going to go, let's move it up in here. And since we are going, as we see in here, we have only 1, 2, 3 on the third layer of concrete block, we have like the ground slope. So let's start doing a ground slope. 1, 2, 3 at here. So this is the slope of the house, but what it is more important is to like cover it completely, because we are going to to use the hatches, and the boundaries should be closed. It doesn't matter the view, it only indicates that beneath we have the foundation. Control save again, do not forget. But before we start putting the hatches, we also need to cover up some other things, which are the installations for the foundations against the frost. And for that reason, as we see, we have EPS 120, insulation 50 plus 50 millimeters with length 1.5 meters and 1.2 meters. So what are we going to do with a rectangular? As I told you, we're going to have the first one, it is the shorter one, which is 1200. Like when you put the coordinates for a rectangular, you put the base first. In our case it is 1200. You can press comma or tab, it doesn't matter, it is the same thing. And we have 50. So we are going to place it in here, it doesn't matter. So as we see in here, we have drawn like a small ground, which indicates that we need to do it a little bit bigger. Now we draw another rectangular, and we're going to put the coordinates 1500 this time, comma or tab, and the thickness of 50 millimeters. So now you take this point and you move it right about here. So as we see, they are looking good, and let's move them just a bit up so we can rotate them. And now another tool that it is going to be used, it is going to be the rotation tool. It is going to help us to rotate these things. So you specify this base point, and now by taking your mouse a bit far away, and you start to rotate this thing. You can give coordinates in here which says like specify rotation angle, or but for this video let's just do it like that, and we have the place in here. So now let's make the ground foundation. Is going to be, doesn't matter, just simple lines. And now that's it. Let's just move it a bit close in here so we can see what it is going on. Let's see, do we have all the layers that we need? Yes, so basically these are all the layers that we need, and for that reason we can start using hatches. So first let's start by using the hatches in the insulation, which indicated these are hard insulation, and every time you have like a hatch in here, if I click it, it will open a dialog box which indicates what is the type of hatch, or the pattern of the hatch, and what are the properties and things like that. In here, in this dialog box, you can choose like different hatches. See, it changes different hatches and things like that. And on the bar which indicates properties, you can move like the how to say it, if you want to make it smaller or bigger and things like that. And also the origin, it indicates that where we are going to start the hatch. For example, if you choose this, it is going to be bottom left corner, the origin of the hatch. This one is going to be bottom right, top left, and top right, and things like that. So these are the basic things about the hatches. So let's start by using one. We press escape to go out of the command, and this is the hatch tool. And if we click on here, we are going to get again the same dialog box. Since we have installation, we are going to use ANSI 37, I guess, and it is very easy to put it on some place. You just go in there and remember that you should have closed boundaries to place hatches, be like rectangulars and things like that. If on the picture there is like a small gap, small gap, the hatch is not going to work, because it will pop on your window and it will tell you that no closed boundaries were detected, things like that. after you do this, you just go in here and click, and you have it. And also you go to the other one and you just, oh sorry, and you have it in here. So if you want to modify, as I told you, you can go with this thing a bit up, bam 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 bam, and you can move it. But let's say that 22, it is pretty good. Now we go again to hatches, and the same hatch for this thing. You are going to notice that in here we have straight lines, and in here, even though, like you see, even though they have like the same information, like 22 and the angle is 5, in here we have also the same thing, but the pattern is not the same. The reason for that is because when we place the rectangulars, we place them on a rotation angle, and for that reason, for example, when you work, let's see, it is better to put the hatches when the rectangle is straight. Like if we go to hatches again and we just do this, oh yes, sorry, we go to hatches, we place the angle 0, it would be good. You didn't catch it because it was there, but no problem. And then you can rotate it and do things like that, and the direction it will be the same, but in our case it doesn't matter. We just indicate that it is a hard insulation for the foundation. In here we also see this dashed line, which is way more thicker than the basic lines. It indicates that it's going to be like bitumen felt or the protection for the foundation, and for that reason I'm going to introduce a new tool, which is the polyline. In this case we use polyline, which is right above here. Click this polyline and you're going to start, let's see where it goes. It goes to the third block. We're going to start from here, from this point, go up to this point, select this point, and we have it right above here. And now just press escape to leave the command. Always remember that escape leaves the command that you are using or you want to use. And now by just one click, you're going to see that we have a polyline which follows the path that we created. And now the other thing that we should do is like to give it like a thickness and to make it like a dashed line. First let's make the dashed line. To make it the line dashed, you should go to the properties, which is in here, the bar home, go to properties and you choose by. As we see in here, we don't have a lot of options, but if you want to add other type of lines, we go to other and then you select both, it is going to appear. And now you go to load, and after you go to load, you are going to find different types of lines in here. What I'm looking for, it is, wait, it is this type of line, dashed x2. After you select it, you just press OK, and now you press OK. And if we go to this thing by layer, which is line type, you are going to see that we have the line which is in here. And now let's see if we could make the line thicker. If we want to make the line thicker, we select the line and we select the line, and we're going to go to the properties. By properties, we go to, by just selecting the line, right click, and we're going to find this new dialog box with options, and we're going to go to properties. Why disappear? Okay, we have it in here. So as we see, we have all these options, but what we're interested in, it is the global width. This is good options for the polyline text because you can make them thicker. And let's say that we're going to do global width 2. What happens? We are having a new thickness to our line. But let's see the configuration of this thing. We go to properties and we have that the global width, it is 7, the type it is -2, not -x2, sorry guys. Properties, global width, it is 7, and we have that it is -2, and there you have it. This is the pattern that we are looking for. next, since we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 concrete blocks, we're going to put another hatch, and let's see what type of configuration this has. For sure these are concrete, yes, as I told you, and the origin doesn't matter, I think, in that case. But let's go, we select hatch, we go to arc concrete, and we start by just placing the hatches in here. First, nope, sorry. It's going to be looking a bit weird, because as we see in here we have the scale which is 22, but if we lower the scale to 1, the result we're going to take is this one. And also let's place this one, and I forgot, let's select them all again. Got to make the angle 0, so that indicates what the now we are going to use installation in this part too, but on this picture we see that we have installation, and on our drawing that we made we have this line. So in this point I'm going to introduce to you a new tool which is called trim, which makes things easier to be cut. So the trim, it is at the section modify, and we have it in here. There are 2 options in here, but we're going to use trim for this video. And how do you use trim? So first, do you see I selected trim, and now I want to escape from this command. I always press escape. But now let's use trim. You selected trim, and now you go in here. So it asks select object or select all. What you do, it is that you right click once, and now it has to select object to trim, or shift selected to extend, or. So what you do at this point, you're going to select these things, or you can delete them one by one by just doing like this: boom, clicking, boom, clicking, boom, clicking, boom, clicking, and you press escape to leave the comment. But let's do it faster. You select trim, right click, you just select all of these, and you just remove them. So this is very easy. And now we are ready to put our hatch in here, which is going to be onset 37, I think, 23, and the angle 90. So we go to hatches. Now we select onset 37. Let's place the origin like this. Yeah, good. And as we see, it is tensor, so to change that we go to this scale and we put it like 33, and we put the angle on 90. It doesn't look quite good, but now, yeah, that looks pretty good. So this is these are our layers. So now I'm going to show you to put the hatches over here. But let's check one thing. So now let's say in here we have this, again the same installation, and we want to put it in here, and it asks us for it to pick an internal point. And if we want to use it in here, let's see what happens. I select, and it says a closed boundary could not be determined, because as we see we have the gap in here, which is basically all the place where we are drawing, and that's not a good thing. So what should we do in this case? What should we do in this case is to make like a line and to close the boundary. So we go to a line. You select this one, it doesn't matter. What happened? Sorry. We have like this line. Should be by layers. Sorry. Always control save, as I did. So now we see that we have these unnecessary parts. So to remove that, what do we use? As I told you before, we use trim. We select trim, we go in here, right click. Now we just select what we want to remove. So it is removed. So basically we have our structure in here, and now we are going to place the hatches. And for that we go to onset 37, we place those in here, 22 the scale, Now the angle it is 0. So yes, so now it's good. Now we just place that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're good. We place the hatches. Now we select them all. We make scale 22. We make the angle 0. And now it's not good again. We should do them one by one. Yes, so let's do them one by one. I don't know why it rotates. And here we have it, all the layers that we are going to be needing. Next, we see in here that we got like a dashed line which is in the middle. So for that reason, we are just going to go to this line and finding the middle. But as we see, we cannot determine where is the middle line, where the middle line it is. And for that reason, I'm going to use the way which is a bit longer, and the shorter way it's going to be shorter. But you have to remember the comma that you need to give. So let's say we press escape and we want the middle point of this one. One thing it is go to the line and draw a line from here to here. And now since we have this small line in here, we can just draw the middle where we want it. And now we can delete this line. But another thing that we can do it is by doing like this, press escape to leave all the comments. This is the fastest way to do that. One of the way after I'm going to show you one simple way which is going to be the longer way to do it. Since this is the basic tutorial for beginners, so that's what you need to know. But also for your info, there is also one command which is like shift and right button, and you're going to have these tables, but I'm going to explain in my later tutorials. So after you draw that line, you just go and do the line that you're going to need, and now you select this line and delete it. This is the longest and the safest way to do it. And now you go click the line. Since it is dashed line, you're going to do it like this. So we have the pattern in here. Next, let's jump to the upper wall structures, which we have all these names in here. We have the outer part, which is 28 millimeters cladding, and for that we are going to use a hatch, of course. But as we see in this picture, we have this part in here which is like a sloped one, and the reason for that is that in case that the rain goes down, it will drip in this point and it won't go inside the wood and damage it, but it will drip and it will go away from the wood. And also, since we're going to use hatches in here, we need to determine a closed boundary, and for that reason we're going to use also another line in here so we can close our boundaries. Let's just make them bigger to show the cutting, which we're going to do later on. So at this point we got this structure which is being built, and now the only thing that we are going to do is just putting the hatches for the walls, putting the hatches for the ground and things like that, so we can complete our detailed drawing for the foundation. But for today, this was the video, guys, and thank you very much for watching. And always please like, comment, share and subscribe in my channel. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye. See ya.